All right, everyone. I am out in East Texas today, so I'm on my laptop. I hope you can't hear all the fun chaos that's happening in the other room, but got a whole family get together, so I wanted to take some time real quick to go ahead and record this week's segment. Um, I'm hoping you've had a chance to watch the first video of just getting this thing going. I am going to be doing this in step by step as we slowly see this thing come together and break it down. Questions have kind of come in from some of the people I've been showing this, so I am going to add in a few things as we get going. But if you're watching this and you don't know me personally and you have questions your own, feel free to comment on this and I'll get to those the best I can. So, real quick, let me get a drink and let's jump right into it. All right, everybody. I am Wesley Yates, and this is a financial freedom strategy that I have been tweaking and working on for quite some time. I have been doing dividend investing for a little over 10 years now and really started shifting my focus to this over the last, I'd say, quarter of the year is my main focus. I've done commercial real estate, I own several businesses, and I'm going to tell you this right now. I love this strategy for reaching that financial freedom. So real quick, before we get too far into it, I'm not going to bore y'all with reading all this. I've left it up here just real quick. I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is me showing you what I've been doing with my money for my family. And hopefully if anyone can utilize this and gain knowledge from it, great. If you want to mimic some of this stuff too and add this to your strategy for your financial freedom, awesome. So that's really what all I'm going to say there. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money. I don't like people telling me what to do with mine, but I'm just sharing you what I've been doing with mine. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Last week we really got things set up. We really went over how to get started. All of these links are in the videos, so I'll drop all of the links as I get new tools. I'll add more of the links to the bottom for those tools as I introduce those. Yet again, this one will be in there if you can read the full thing. Just a high level of what our strategy is. We are working off of the Robinhood platform. I am using Snowball Analytics as a nice little tool to track. We're actually going to introduce that today, so y'all will get to see that all set up and looking at. If you want to use these links here to get signed up, that's great. It doesn't take anything out of you, but I think the Robinhood gives us both a free account or a free stock. So there we go. I will put a live portal view in here soon. I should have that up here this week, so you should probably even see that. So if you want to see how my portfolio is performing, feel free to click on that and see how that's going. So what we did last week is we started with phase one. We picked our 5 weekly payers. The 5 that we picked, I'll show you on my tracker. You'll see them in my portfolio. I actually let my daughter, this is her portfolio. I actually switched some things around in Robinhood and figured out how to open I guess they call it a custodial account. So, and I found out whenever she turns 21, that'll automatically roll this account over to her ownership. So that's our strategy. So she's 14 now. We got, what is that? We got a few years, right? So is that maybe, okay. So not too many years, 7 years. All right. So before she's turning 21 and this is going over her. So she's got high school and a little bit of after high school for us to really get this thing ramped up for her. We're just using a strategy of what is $5 a day do into a portfolio when you maximize dividends, you maximize that compounding interest, you really maximize that waterfalling method. So that's what we did right there. We picked our 5 weeklies. We have an average dividend yield above 35% on those weekly payers. We did pick the 5 to where we have a dividend payment every day, which is nice. And we're really going. So our dividend yields have been fluctuating, but we've seen them staying above 35 on average on the ones that we picked. If you would like to see my full list of my dividend stocks, you can click on this right here, and y'all have got that, and you can see the 5 that we picked along with additional rest. Shares of those weekly payers, you will see we are buying evenly by the dollar. We're not buying by share, we're buying by the dollar. The reason we're buying by dollar versus buying by the share is mainly because we're on a budget. This is a budget strategy. Some of us don't have the ability to buy a share that's $63 and to try to do that every day to build up momentum. So this is budget strategy of what will compound interest and daily investing do over a period of time. You'll see some of our goals and scales on this later on the video. So the dividends, as we get dividends that increase to come in, we will use the dividends to buy into new dividends until we get our about 10 weekly pairs is what we want. And then we're going to use those dividends to increase until um, our weekly dividend amount is that $75 amount. So the $5 a day, which is 25 a week, plus the 75 a week, it's $100 a week. Then we're going to jump into 10 monthlies. That'll be phase two. So that's what we're going for. I haven't talked a lot about margin, but you can see on here there is an optional strategy. Robinhood requires $2,000 in your portfolio value before. So it's going to take us quite some time before we get there. So for right now, we're really just going to be going over the setting this up, building up that momentum, and really diving into that. So real quick, let's jump into the you can see the stocks that I've picked. These are the 5 up here. The main reasons that I picked these, as you can see, I got one that pays Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's what I like. You can, if you like all the ones that, and they only pay on Thursdays and Fridays, that's fine. As long as they pay weekly, they should be all right. Drop my phone. Put that on mute before someone calls me. Now, as you can see, my year ROI is negative on all of these. That's actually expected, and the reason why that does not concern me is I'm not buying for equity. I did that in real estate. At the peak of my real estate career, I had over $70 million in commercial real estate. It's great. I had a lot of equity. It was beautiful. You know what I couldn't do? I couldn't spend any of the equity. So yes, I could leverage against it, and there's different strategies, and I'm not going to go into on that. Why it was still nice to have, millions of dollars in equity, but I wasn't making any cash flow. And let's be real, cash flow is king. I love cash flow. So I have shifted my entire strategy and adopted this fully of if it doesn't cash flow, I don't buy it. So that's really what I'm looking at. I am pretty much almost out of real estate altogether. I've got a few personal things that I'm going to be looking into, mainly for the idea of offset, and real estate's great for leveraging against. So that's really what I'm looking at. So doesn't concern me. All I look at is that dividend yield number. So looking side by side, you see that's negative, almost about as much as this is positive in dividend yields. Now these are a yearly number. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at that great cash flow. This is just to get the momentum going. We will get into the monthlies, and you'll see the monthlies will be more stable, and that ROI could even be positive on those monthlies. And it's good to see those positive or stable on those monthlies, because that's going to be what we're really, really, really going to live off of. Weeklies are just to help pay down margin if you have it, pay down debt if you're getting it, but really to help ramp up and that waterfall method into those monthlies. You have quite a bit of cash flow to help. As you can see, our strategy for phase one, 25% of our money is coming from us, that $25 a week, versus I'd like to get $75 coming in from dividends. So that's all that those weeklies are really designed for. I've explained on the other one, we've got really several types of buying in Robinhood. There are several more ETFs. You could probably spend an entire year researching new ETFs if you wanted to. They're always coming out. There's still new ones coming out all the time. But with this right here, what I was looking at is I'm busy, you're busy. I got 4 kids. We got a lot going on, as I'm sure there's a lot of us that have that. That's why day trading doesn't work for me. I ain't got time to sit in front of a computer all day because I'm already sitting in front of a computer for my other job. So I like to look at the idea of set it and forget it. As much as I can automate this process, the more I'm going to try to automate this process. So the buying type on Robinhood, you can buy by shares. There are other ETFs that would meet the dividend share, but you have to buy by shares. I like the idea of buying by dollars. There are other people out there that only like to buy by share, and if you're one of those, knock yourself out. Go for it. This is the idea of I only have $5 a day. I can sacrifice a Starbucks coffee, make my coffee from the house, and hey, put that into a dividend portfolio. So that's what we're going to do. So let's jump into seeing how our portfolio did. Now, there is going to be a little bit of a funkiness, and you'll see me clicking around. Let me zoom out here. There we go. Get all of this on one screen. There we go. So there is going to be a little bit of funkiness here because I had an old account that I was using for Elizabeth here to get her started, and I realized that I could transfer over when I connected everything to the Snowball, the analytic tool. It started pulling back from all of those old transactions that I had way back in the day, and it was really throwing off our numbers. So I went ahead this past week and I moved everything over into a new account. So the only thing this is going to be reading moving forward is what we're doing with this strategy. So just wanted everyone to know that. You might see me clicking back and forth between an account that says old. That's the one that we just did. So some of the dividends that paid out this week went to the old one before I moved. So we are going to track those. I'm going to show you all the tracker that we got. But here's our 5 right here. So you can see these are the 5 that we picked. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Those are the 5 that we picked. You can kind of see this is our this is set up on, I think, yeah, our equity. So that's our equity right now. Not too worried about that, knowing that we put $5 in there. We're going to click on each of those and update. You can see here's my reoccurrings. Remember, we had 3 that had the option of reoccurring, and we had 2 that were manual buys. So I'm going to show you, hey, it's Sunday. I'm going to go in here and do my manual buys for the week again on those 2. And we're going to do that. So I'm going to show y'all what am I doing. You can see I've already got my $25 in here. You can see I've got some 13 cents. Those are dividend payments. So that 13 cents is from dividends. Woohoo, right? Hey, 13 cents is 13 cents. I'm ready for it. Let's go. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show y'all. This is the weekly tracker that I'm going to be updating each month, or each week, sorry. So you can see each week the dollar amount going up and up and up and up that we're getting to. So I've got already the first year, 52 weeks in here. Let's see where we're at by the end of this year. So I'm going to start filling this in. I do have a link to this if you want to copy this and pick your 5 on here, or use it for any tools. If you got your own tool, great. I'm going to go ahead and share this in there at the bottom link below this. So if y'all want to use this stuff, you can. All right, so I'm going to get started on, we're just going to start at the top, blocks. I'm going to click on this, let it load up, and go down, and I like to look at the good old history. So I'm going to scroll down until I see my history, and right here. So you can see there's the reinvestment. It just got July 10th. So looking at our calendar, let's see, what month was that? We started this on the July 4th weekend. So last week was the 6th through the 10th. So that one went through there. Now I am going to switch real quick because I told y'all I don't want to confuse y'all, but I did have the old. And we're going to switch to that so that we can see where most of these took place, because I think it was about Thursday before I got everything switched over, and I started noticing that. So I'm going to add all of these up. So July 6th, you can see here's stuff that I've had from this account way older. That's what was throwing off our numbers, and I didn't want us to have that. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 plus the one that was on the other one. That's the 10. All right, so we're going to go on here, and we are going to add equals 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus. Actually, I'm not going to do it like that. I think we all know it was 5. So for this week, we got 5. All right. And this is all going to be dollars. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up and hit the good old dollar sign. So we got $5 invested into that one. And I didn't see any dividends go through there. It might. Let's switch this. Let's do dividends, and let's see, did it go through the old? Because we should have got a dividend. That's too old. All right, let's go Elizabeth. This is her new one. There it is. It says it's pending, so it should go through the 13th, which is, what is that? Looking at my calendar, that's Monday. Awesome. So if you look at this, looking at our tracker, blocks, pays out Monday. Hey, it's doing what it's supposed to. So this will be the first Monday that we had it, and that's when we get that dividend. So it looks like we're not getting that yet. I'm not going to put that in there pending, so we'll get 0 for this one. No biggie. But we're going to have 3 cents coming in tomorrow. All right, so let's go to the next one. Going back, and blocks. So blocks is next. Oh, that was blocks. Get this going. Yeah, so we did just do blocks. I guess I missed Coney. Oops. Got to make sure I click on the right one. I guess I didn't scroll up all the way. No biggie. Um, I'm just showing y'all this time. I won't do this every week, so you don't have to see me clicking back and forth every week. I'm going to do it this one so you see what I'm doing. And let's make sure that my weekly tracker, I did blocks. Now it's Coney. I'll fix that so they're matching the same order. I won't be out of order next time. All right, so we're going down to history. See if there's anything there. This looks like we did get a payment, and we got 5. So we got a 4-cent payment, and we've got all of our dollars that went through. So we invested $5. So I'm going to put that equals 5, and we got, what did I say, 4 cents? 4 cents. Good. So that did get paid out. So 0.04. Boom. And that paid out, just to see if we're tracking right, or that paid out on the 10th. So that was, what I say, the 10th was Friday. And yes, so that was Friday. Is our sheet right? Sheet's right. Good. All right. So we're good there. We're going to go back. Which one is next? Here we go. Takes a little bit to load. Utility is next. All right. Let this load. Let's see. Go down to our history. And there's that. I'm going to just try that just to see. Switch this over to old just to see if we got a dividend. Looks like we did get a dividend. So we got a 2-cent dividend here. So that came in on July 9th. That would be the Thursday. Boom. And as you can see, utility Thursday. So somehow my order of my stocks got jumbled up. So I will make sure that the stocks are following the orders of this and the order of the tracker. That's more my OCD than anything. But all right, equals 5. All right, so we got $5 invested. What did I say? It was 3, 4? What was that? 2. Oh, it's way off. I guess I was being too optimistic. 2 cents. Boom. All right, next we've got, which one? We'll just work our way down off of this one. And I'll get all these moved. Robinhood's weird. I can't move them around on my on here. I haven't figured out how to move the orders here, but you can do it from your mobile app. So I'm using the web app. This does have a great mobile app on your phone, and you can do it there too. All right, so this is one of them that's not reoccurring. I think TSII is a manual buy. So the next two are the manual buys. So I might go ahead while we're in here and put in that manual order as well. So let's scroll down and see, do we have any history at all? Nothing at all. So this one, probably nothing went through over here. Let's look at the old. All right, let's see what we got. We do have. So the 5 went through. So there you can see market buy, and there's the 5 cents. So this one is nice. So we're going to go ahead and put, what was this? TSII? Yes. So we're going to do TSII equals 5, tab, and we also got 0.05 on the cents there. So last one, let's go ahead. So I'm going to show you when we're updating this, since we're in here. We don't want to have to keep switching back and forth on these stocks as internet's a little slow. We're going to go ahead and put in our weekly buy. Now, all the other ones that we did were recurring. Those are going to be automatic. We don't have to touch those. If you only want to pick reoccurring so that you don't even have to come in here on the weekends and do anything, you can set it and almost forget it and just check in every so often to see, hey, do I have extra dividends that I need to reinvest? Great. You can do that. So go down here. We're going to do a buy order. We're going to pick, what is that, $5 for the week that we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and review our order and let that go through. Update, and it's going to give you this. Grow money, even it means potential higher losses. How long? It might ask you to do this. This is a new account. It's the first time I bought anything with this account. So, yeah, I'm just filling this out. I just went highest risk level. So there it goes. If that pops up, just click through it real quick, answer those questions based on your level. And here we go. So we're going to go ahead and buy. This order is cute. Remember, it's Sunday. Market's not open on Sunday, so that's all we need to see. That's what we're going for. So as soon as it opens up on Monday, our entire weeks are bought for our TSII. So we're good to go. So now we can go in here. We're going to go ahead and do that for the other one. I believe that is, what is that? Who? Yeah. You see our little plus, that means you got an order pending. That's good. All the other ones don't have it yet because that's on an automatic reoccurring. That'll show up the day of. So if you log in here tomorrow in the morning, I think most of their manual or their automatic recurring buyings happen between 11:30 and 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's for me in Central Standard Time. So, um, but you'll see that plus there in the morning. So we're going to go ahead and update first. Let's see if there's history on this one or if it's on the old one. We won't have to do this again. But for right now, there's our history. So we got our 5. Nothing paid out yet. So no dividends have paid out yet. This is one who is on a what day? Hood is on a what day? Um, that's on a Tuesday. So we didn't hit the execution date. Whenever we started buying to get a dividend, we should see our dividends this week. So we should have a pending on that, which will be great. But we did get our $5 in there, so let's go ahead and do that, and then we're going to come back and put in that $5 order for next week. So equal 5. Boom. And then I think, let me double check and check this one just to make sure, but I don't think we got anything yet. So, okay. So nothing on either one of those. So we're going to put 0. Boom. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and come in here and do our $5 for the week. That's basically $1 for every day of the trading days. Review. Oh, it moved on me. Buy. Bump it on. It is queued. You hit done. And I think when we scroll back up, we'll see, there it is. Make sure, double check, I did put that in the right. So we got that in our Freedom account. That's for Elizabeth. And we are rocking and rolling. So that's it. That's how quick. That didn't really take us any time at all. That's really what we're doing this week is that. So we're going. We're already on week 2. We don't have enough to reinvest any of our dividends yet. But we got our $25 in there for the week, for next week, for all the reoccurrings. We put in our manuals because I have some of those manuals to show what that looks like, and we're good. So, made 11 cents week 1, doing nothing. So, that's great. You'll see that scaling up, and we're getting a rock and rolling. To show y'all, if you do get the Snowball Analytics tool, this is, you connect this account, this is what it is. So, looking at this, our value is $50. I believe if you hover over that, you might even see that cash balance is 25, holding value is 24.96. So our total profits really kind of balance right there. We're at plus 12 cents. Not really worried about that. The big one, the exciting one, the one that we're mainly focused on, passive income at 68%. That is an annual right there. That is an annual percentage. That is beautiful. Now, we'll see that go down. We'll see that go up. We'll see that fluctuate. That's what happens with these weekly payers. These ETFs, some are leveraged, others are not, but they are high risk, high reward. That's what we're looking at to get started in our cash flow. But this, just to kind of give you all a little look around on this, it's great. You can kind of see your funds. Once you put in here, you can see your diversification portfolio. You can set a goal. You can see, hey, what am I going to get in the next 12 months? So you can see, hey, we're looking at already getting dollars. And this is based on what's invested right now. We did set a goal. So I went in here and I'll show you. Let me go into this part of it. My goal. The goal for end of phase 2 is $1,000 a month. My goal is to try to get my daughter with an extra $1,000 a week started whenever she graduates and moves on. We're at, it says right now, it'll take us about 7 years to reach that. So what I say, she has 7 years before she turns 21. So by the time I hand this over to her, I mean, I don't know about y'all. I came from very humble beginnings. I didn't have a $52,000 a year portfolio. That's cash flow. That's cash flow. When I would turn 21, I would have loved to have something like that. And we'll see this. If she works a little extra jobs here, she does little things here, and she wants to put money into it, I'm going to put that money in here. We're going to trade that for her. So that's what we're going to do. This is based on, sorry, right now I need to adjust this. This is going to be 8 years. I was wondering how it bumped up. Right now we're doing $25 a week. There's an average of 4 weeks in a month. Really, there's 4.3, but $100 a month is what we're going to look at. In 8 years, we should have that. this is her where she's graduating, and I'm looking heavily at that. What can we do? So you're going to see us, if we can get to the point of using margin, if she does see the benefit of this, to start really putting some of her money in here, it's only going to grow. You saw $50 in difference a month. Took a year, an entire year, off of our goal to hit this. So that's something right here. You can play with this. You can put your own dollar amounts in there. I really like this dividend calendar. The dividend calendar lets me see when am I getting all my paychecks. So something's going on with utility. I think that looks like one of those two moved. What was our financial tracker? It said which one was supposed to be on Wednesday? TSII. Looks like they've shifted on us, and TSI is now on Thursdays. I'll look into that, reading that. If that is, I'll modify the spreadsheet. Either way, I'm getting 5 checks a week. Getting 5 checks a week while I sleep. I love it. So, this is a great tool. You can kind of see what you're getting paid. You can go up here and say we're already at $16 an annual. Monthly's looking good, daily's looking good, and this is just with $25 invested. So we're rocking and rolling already. I know you're thinking that's not a lot of money, but let's go back to that goal. I mean, look at where it really gets up into. I mean, we're talking about, $52,000, $79,000 a year. So we jump from $46,000 to 79,000 in 1 year as this thing really gets going. So even $5 a day can get you free. That's the point of this. How many of y'all have, if you're just getting started, I've got some people that I'm talking to that have put their money in their 401k, and they don't have enough to retire. The 401k is not cash flowing, but just converting this over to get cash flow, that to me is retirement. When you have cash flow passively, when you can no longer work, you can no longer want to think, and you want to go live, making money while you sleep is the way to go live. So that's what we're really focused on, is building up that dividend, building up that cash flow, and getting rocking and rolling, which someone asked me to cover some terms each week. I am going to start with just some basic terms. So if you already know what a dividend is, great. But for those of you that might be asking, never heard of it, I know I've mentioned a lot of time now. Week 1, week 2, you've heard it because our entire strategy is off of dividends, dividend yields, dividend, all of that. So, and I'll be honest, I'm not an expert trader, on all the stocks. I've just been able to find other people that really were the experts, had a lot more experience than me, and I've just been following them. I've been studying them. I've been mimicking them, and I just modify their strategies to fit my lifestyle. And that's what you need to do. You need to learn from other people. You need to do your research. You need to figure out how to make your investment strategy modify to your situation, to your lifestyle, to reach your goals. All right, that's what I really want. Is just, here is one strategy that could potentially help you. So real quick, what is a dividend? A dividend is a portion of a company's profit that is paid to shareholders. All right, that's what I love about it. If you own that share, that's all you got to do. You've done your part. Boom, you get a dividend check. Now, why is that a great little thing? Is because that's passive income. That's money that you didn't have to work for. You didn't have to trade your time for a dollar. And that's great. I think, what was it, Warren Buffett, that said you're going to work until the day you die unless you can figure out how to make money while you sleep. So that's what we're doing here. To give you an example, it's got a simple explanation down here. You invest in a company. When the company earns money, it may choose to share some of the profits with the investors. So, yay. Not all stocks are dividend paying stocks. Not all ETFs, which is predominantly what our portfolio is, I'll teach that later, are dividend paying. You need to look and see if that stock has a yield number, dividend yield number, to know that you would be getting paid a dividend yield. I gave you all an example of some of those that I'm invested in, so you can see, hey, those are how they're performing for me. So how does that work? Let's say you own 100 shares of a company's stock, right? And they decide they're going to pay 25 cents this quarter. Some are quarterly, some are monthly, some are weekly. Some even pay daily, some even pay bi-monthly. They're all different types. You need to research on that to know when do they pay out. You can use that Snowball Analytics tool. You can go to Yahoo Finance. There's a lot of different ways that you can find out when does that stock pay pay its dividend and what's the average it's been paying per share. So 25 cents times 100 shares, that'd be $25 that would pay out if that's what you owned. So, and that would be, for this example, a quarterly dividend. So over a year, if nothing changed, the yield didn't change, and you never bought more or sold any of those shares, you'd make $100 in dividend that year off of that stock, just for an example. So that's why, really, one of the reasons why I say dividends really matter. You can, I mean, I loved Bitcoin. I loved Bitcoin. I bought a house with Bitcoin. So, but the second I sold it, you know what I didn't have anymore? Bitcoin. As long as I hold on to these stocks, and a lot of these stocks you'll see are based around crypto, based around Bitcoin specifically, as long as I hold them, I get paid. They do all the work. The companies, the share, these stock companies, these ETFs, they do all the work, and I get the benefit of it just because I did my part of buying a share. So that's the passive income. So that's really what we're looking at. Another great thing is, as you've seen in our strategy, we can use those dividends to reinvest to buy more shares to increase our dividends. That's that waterfall momentum that we're talking about. So that's really what we're looking at. You know, the key takeaways on this is a dividend is a cash payment that some companies make to their shareholders based on their profits. So it is one way that investors can earn money in addition to any increase in the stock price. What that means is the stock price, that's what most people are thinking of when they look at the stock market. That'll buy low, sell high, right? That's great, but you got to do one thing: sell. And you better hope it goes up. So if it goes up, you sell, you make a profit, yay. It's gone. You no longer have it. Versus the dividend mindset, I hold it, I get paid. 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 As long as I'm getting paid, I'm holding. That's a much easier strategy for me. So there's a lot of people that agree that the equity route is the way to go. Cool. I'm not going to argue with you. There's a lot of people that say if it don't cash flow, it's got to go. Cool. Go rock and roll. That's where my mind is. So there is ways of leveraging. We'll get into some of the more, complicated strategies later on. But for right now, just remember that we're building cash flow with this strategy. So if you're hoping to reach financial freedom with cash flow, this is what we're doing. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you are following along on this journey. I'm going to keep going. We'll see this thing start to continuously ramp up. Maybe one day when we get farther enough, I'll even show y'all my other portfolio that is in phase two. It's about 100 and something days into this strategy all in, and I'll show y'all what that looks like. I've got some margin and all that. We're starting to use margin. I'll show y'all that. But for right now, I hope this is a second segment here, moving forward, building up momentum, and we'll get on here each week and we'll just keep building up momentum as our portfolio is building momentum. If you have any questions or would like me to cover a special, strategy or special terminology, feel free. And you ask that question in the comments, and I'll get to that. Other than that, I really appreciate everybody, and thanks for watching.